The field doesn't pay what you're worth. It pays what you have the frequency to ask for. Price is not a mathematical calculation of your costs plus margin. Price is a quantum anchor point, a declaration of energetic value that the field either accepts or rejects based not on the number itself, but on the frequency with which you broadcast it. When you state your price and your voice trembles, when your nervous system broadcasts, "Is this too much?" Will they say no? Am I worth this? You create what I call micro-oscillation of doubt. And the quantum field detects this oscillation at the subatomic level. The wave function collapses not to the price you stated, but to the price your frequency can hold, which is always lower. The price you say is irrelevant compared to the frequency with which you say it. If you're trembling at your own number, you've already negotiated yourself down before the client opens their mouth. This is the price paradox. The number matters far less than your relationship to the number. And here's what you must understand. If you're still calculating your price based on hours worked, materials used, or what your competitor charges, you're operating from survival frequency. You're not anchoring value, you're begging for permission. And the field can smell it. Let's dissect the anatomy of financial terror. When you're about to state a price that feels high to you, note those words. High to you, your nervous system enters threat response. Your paleomammalian brain interprets asking for significant money as social danger. You might be rejected. You might be judged. You might be seen as greedy. And rejection, to the primitive brain, equals death. This fear is ancestral. For millions of years, being seen as asking for too much from the tribe meant exile. And exile meant death. Your nervous system still carries this programming. So when you're about to say $100,000 for your services, your amygdala is screaming they'll reject you. You'll be cast out. You'll die. The fear is not rational. It's evolutionary. And it's broadcasting a frequency that collapses the deal before it begins. And here's the signal you're broadcasting. When your nervous system goes into stress mode, your voice changes. Pitch rises slightly, speed increases, microtremors appear. You might not consciously notice, but the potential client's mirror neurons detect every fluctuation. They're reading your nervous system's assessment of your own value. And if you don't believe the number, why should they? This is what I call micro-oscillation of doubt. Fluctuations in your energetic signal so small they're nearly invisible, but detectable at the subconscious level. High-value clients are particularly sensitive to these oscillations because they've been trained by experience to spot confidence versus compensation. They can feel when you're asking versus when you're stating. And asking always gets negotiated down. Market resonance is the principle that like frequencies attract, unlike frequencies repel. High-ticket clients operate at a frequency of certainty, sovereignty, and detached power. They make decisions quickly because they trust their assessment. But if you're broadcasting uncertainty, fear, or need, your frequencies are incompatible. There's no resonance. And without resonance, there's no transaction, regardless of how good your service actually is. If you don't occupy your value, if you don't energetically inhabit the price you're stating, the field expels you. Not because you're unworthy, but because nature cannot sustain a mismatch. You cannot charge high prices while vibrating at survival frequency. The dissonance is too great. The system will correct, and the correction is always downward. This is why you keep falling to lower price points. It's not market conditions. It's not your skills. It's your internal frequency calibration. You're trying to occupy a financial altitude your nervous system hasn't been trained to sustain. The moment you step up, your fear pulls you back down. The cycle repeats until you address the frequency, not the number. Here's the filter effect that most people miss entirely. Charging low prices does not attract more people. It attracts more of the wrong people. Low prices are a frequency that resonates with entropy, clients who are themselves operating from scarcity, who will drain your resources, question your value, demand discounts, and never truly commit. Because here's the quantum truth. Your price is a frequency that filters your client field. Low prices broadcast, "I'm not sure I'm valuable, I'm trying to be accessible, please choose me." This signal attracts people who are also unsure, also operating from lack, also unable to commit at higher levels. You're creating magnetic resonance with scarcity consciousness. And then you wonder why your clients are difficult. But high prices? High prices broadcast, "I know my value, I'm selective about who I work with. This is what excellence costs." This signal repels scarcity-minded people. They self-select out immediately. But it attracts people who are also operating from abundance, who value quality over cost, who are ready to invest and commit. Your high price is doing the filtering work before the sales conversation even begins. This is quantum anchoring in practice. High price is a barrier of entry for the uncommitted. It's not about exclusion for cruelty. It's about field protection. Every low-commitment client you allow in lowers the average frequency of your entire practice. They drain energy that should go to high-value clients. They pull your focus to problems instead of possibilities. The high price protects you from this entropy. Let me be direct. If you're trying to make your price accessible to everyone, you've already failed. Accessibility to all means excellence for none. Your job is not to serve everyone. Your job is to serve the right ones. The ones who match your frequency, who can receive your value, who will implement and transform. And those people are never looking for the cheapest option. The data shows this pattern everywhere. Client quality increases exponentially, not linearly, with price. There's a threshold, usually 10x your current price, where the client quality jumps dramatically. But most people never reach this threshold because they're too afraid to cross the gap. They stay in the crowded, low-margin, high-stress zone because at least it's familiar. The leap to high pricing requires tolerating the void, the period where you have fewer clients but each one is worth more and demands less. And yes, when you raise your prices, you will lose clients. That's the point. You're filtering out the entropic matches. It will feel like failure at first. Your calendar will have more space, your revenue might dip temporarily. But you're creating the quantum vacuum that allows higher quality, higher value clients to enter. You're trading quantity for quality, and the math always favors quality at scale. Now comes the re-anchoring protocol. You cannot charge a price your nervous system perceives as a threat. So we must recalibrate your nervous system to perceive the new price as a fact, not a danger. This is neurological reprogramming. The technique is simple but not easy. You stand before a mirror and state your new price 100 times. Not once, not 10 times, 100 times. My rate is $50,000. You say it until your voice stops shaking, until your heart stops racing, until your body processes the number as boring data instead of existential threat. This is systematic desensitization, the same technique used to treat phobias. You are treating your phobia of your own value. What happens neurologically is this. The first 20 repetitions are painful, your amygdala is firing, your body is resisting. But around repetition 40, something shifts. The amygdala stops flagging the number as danger because you've survived stating it 40 times without actual threat materializing. The number becomes neutral. By repetition 100, you can say it with the same emotional charge as stating your phone number. This is the goal. Price is fact, not fear. And when you bring this recalibrated nervous system into an actual sales conversation, everything changes. You state your price with zero apologetic energy. No, I know this seems high, but no, I'm worth it because the investment is $50,000. Period. The prospect's subconscious detects your sovereignty and responds with respect. High-value clients are attracted to certainty. You've become certain. This protocol is addressing what I call internal equity. the maximum amount of wealth your internal system believes you can hold without self-destructing. This is the thermostat setting on your financial reality. External wealth can never sustainably exceed internal equity. If the gap is too large, your nervous system will unconsciously sabotage to restore equilibrium. You'll make $200,000, then inexplicably lose it, because your internal setting is $50,000. I still do this. Every time I increase my rates, I run the protocol. I say the new number until it becomes boring. I write it until it becomes automatic. Because the market doesn't care what you're capable of earning. It only pays what you can embody receiving. And embodiment is a neurological state, not an intellectual concept. The field is always reading your internal state. It pays what you have the frequency to hold, not what you intellectually think you deserve. The re-anchoring protocol raises your frequency to match your aspirational price. And once the frequencies match, the price stops being aspirational. It becomes actual. This is not manifestation mysticism. This is neurological recalibration producing measurable market results. Look at this. Millions of transactions happening right now. Every single one is a negotiation between two frequencies. The person offering value and the person receiving it. And in every case, the transaction settles at the level both nervous systems can sustain. The market you think you're in, the one where people negotiate over price, where clients are difficult, where you're competing on cost, that's the low-frequency market. It's real, it's massive, but it's not the only one. There's another market operating simultaneously at a higher frequency. In that market, price is barely discussed because both parties recognize value immediately. Transactions happen faster, with less friction, at higher amounts. Your fear of high numbers is the only thing keeping you in low circles. Not your skills, not your experience, not market conditions. Your fear. The trembling in your voice when you state your price. The apologetic energy you bring to value conversations. This is the signal that assigns you to the low-frequency market and locks you there. So here's your choice, and you need to make it tonight. You can continue operating from your current price anchor, the one set by fear, by comparison to others, by what feels safe to ask. And you will continue generating the results that frequency produces. Difficult clients, low margins, exhausting work, plateau. Or you can run the protocol. Tonight. Stand in front of your mirror and say your new price. 10x your current rate, whatever makes your nervous system scream. 100 times. Document the shift. Feel your body recalibrate. And tomorrow, bring that new frequency into your market interactions. Watch what changes. Recalibrate your anchor. Not next month. Not when you feel ready. You will never feel ready. That's the point of the protocol. Now, subscribe to the Voss method for the advanced pricing protocols. We're going to reset your internal equity to match your actual value. We're going to train your nervous system to occupy prices that currently terrify you. I am Elias Voss. Claim your frequency.